Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Welcome back. In case you're new to my channel, for the month of March, what I've been doing is participating in Ceri the Crafter's hashtag Mixed Media March 25, and what you need to do is create a project every day in the month of March. Although if you didn't get to start at the beginning of March, he said all you have to do is just start on whatever day you want and do 31 projects. Incorporate gel printing, have your finished project be rectangular in shape, put a number corresponding to the day of the challenge that you're doing it, and sign your piece. So for today's project, I've got, this is a label sheet. So it's got 3 columns of labels. And I was using it as, I think, a cleanup page when I was gel printing in preparation for Mixed Media March. And what we're going to do today is just do a bunch of stamping to turn these into finished labels that can be used on projects. And I'm going to grab, I've got an old mouse pad that helps with stamping if you have something a little squishy behind it instead of something hard. And I'm going to start with stamping some scripty background. Get that stamp out. This is a really old Stampendous stamp that I'm going to use. And I'm going to grab some Archival Ink in Hickory Smoke. And something to bear in mind if you are stamping on painty backgrounds, I find using either Archival ink or StazOn ink, they're a solvent-based ink, works better than stamping using something like VersaFine Clair, because your pigment inks work better on a more porous surface, and when you put the paint down, it becomes less porous. So we're just gonna go around stamping. Apparently I did not ink that up enough because I'm not seeing very much of that. Let's try this again. I was trying not to get too much ink on it and then didn't get enough to actually do anything. Let's try this again. There you go. It's very faint. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it is there, so you can see it in here. I'm just going to go and do this pretty much all over just to kind of give a background to what we're doing. So how is everybody doing? I'm having a slow start to today because I think partly because I stayed up later than I should have. Friday night to Saturday, got up not like ridiculously early, but earlier than I would have liked on Saturday because my dog decided it was time to get up. And then had to go help my dad do his taxes, which left me really exhausted on Saturday. And then stayed up probably later than I should last night. And again, didn't get to sleep in as late as I would have because... So I replaced my front windows, and now my dog Bert can see everything outside. Whereas with the old... messed up windows, he couldn't really see outside as well. I'm just going to restamp in this corner. And so now he's barking way more. And so at, 8 o'clock on the weekend mornings, he's going crazy because he's seen something outside. A squirrel, a leaf, a lizard, who knows, but he goes insane and barks and wakes me up. And yeah, so I actually ordered some cling film to go on my brand new windows to block out some of the ability to see out them because, yeah, he's barking way too much. All right, so that's just added a little bit more interest to the background, and in some spots you can see it more than others, so that's good. Next up, I want to do, let's see. I've got a whole bunch of stamps pulled out. I think I want to do a few butterflies stamped randomly around. I'm going to start with, this is one of my favorite butterfly stamps, and it's a really old stamp by Inkadinkado. I don't think it's available anymore. And I think I'm going to do the butterflies in a dark blue. Let's see what we got. let's use prize ribbon. And so we're going to get, you know, labels where we've got partial butterflies on them, kind of thing. Ooh, that did not stamp as well as I would have liked. Let's try putting more ink on next time and see if we can get a better impression. Not too worried about it because it's one of those things, I'm gonna create these labels, and then when I go to use them, if there's something that I'm like not loving on the page, we can always, or on the piece, I can always cover it up when it goes to get used. I'm just trying to create some interest on these pieces. I think I'm gonna move on to another stamp, grab a smaller butterfly from that same set and do some more butterflies around. Yeah, I've been on a butterfly kick, if you've noticed in my videos this month, and I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna do a butterfly video, like a butterfly journal is probably gonna be next up once I finish that poor steampunk journal that just keeps getting pushed off to the side as other things crop up. And then I got one more butterfly that's even smaller from that set. I'm gonna stamp a few of those around. And then I am gonna grab this is Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous CMS 1, 2, 3 Attic Treasures. So this is an older one, and it's got a line of butterflies that I figured, I know this is like a whole label right there, so I think they'll fit across on there. So I was thinking I'd do that. So mostly this is random stamping, but I figured for a few of them I could be purposeful. So there's that one. May do another one because I think this is probably a label right there. So I could have a few. And do one more. And actually this one might go across two labels. Do it like over here. I feel like I need another color, but I feel like it needs to be a dark color. Gonna try Mermaid Lagoon and see how that works. It may not. Trying to decide. I think I'm done doing butterflies. You know, we'll do one more butterfly, and it's the other one from the Stampers Anonymous Attic Treasures, and I need a bigger block. And I think I'm gonna do this one in prize ribbon too, so that all my butterflies are in the same. And that we don't know exactly what we're going to get until we go to pull apart our labels. All right, I like that. So now I'm grabbing Tidbits CMS 488, and I'm just going to grab a couple of these random numbery things and stamp in some places. Let's see how the Mermaid Lagoon does against our background. Not sure it's going to work. I may be pulling out a different color. Too bad. Let's see if we can get a better impression the next time round. Put a little bit more ink on. And I got another one from that set. That did not do anything. That's okay. It just adds texture. There's like a faint bit of the color, but you can't really read what the heck it says. All right. This is a Creative Expressions clear stamp set by Tracie Fox Creative, and it's the Entomology Passport Elements CEC 1123. And if you haven't heard, Creative Expressions is going out of business. That sounds more ominous than it is. I believe the owner has decided to retire, and so they're just closing. Not quite as grim as going out of business implies. So I don't know what's going to happen with the stamp designs they have. So if there are some you have been coveting and you have the finances to pick them up, I would recommend doing it sooner rather than later, because who knows how long they'll be available for. And I'm grabbing out of that, it's Lepidop. I know I can say it, I just can't seem to say it right now. Lepidoptera, which is, I believe, the classification name for butterflies. So we're gonna stamp that around in some places. Trying to think what color I want to use. Debating bringing in Villainous Potion. I think I am. So we're gonna stamp that around in a few places. It's also a new clear stamp, and those don't necessarily stamp very well the first few times you try and stamp them. That came out better. Let's see, what else do I want to use? I'll just use this long string of numbers. All right, let's go ahead and use the Villainous Potion again. All right, I'm gonna place that down and do it this way, because when I placed it on the other way around, it was not on straight, even a little bit. Like, not even a little bit. That's good. Let's see what Evergreen Bough looks like just off on the side here. I think I'm gonna be okay with that. So let's do that in a few spots. It's not showing up very dark, but then again, the first one I stamp with, this one always tends to be on the little lighter side. Thinking I'm about ready to find a spot where I can put our number for today. Oh, I got a dog who wants to come in. Let me go let him in, and then we'll figure out where we're stamping our number and signing it. And I think we're gonna call this done for now. So we're gonna use the stamp from Tidbits. It's got the 2 and it's got the 8 and a whole bunch in between. So what we're gonna do is put it on our block, grab some really not sticky Post-its, cover up the numbers we don't want, and then I'm going to ink the stamp, and I think I'm going to use the prize ribbon. Really not cooperating. That might work. And then I'm going to hold that over there and try and get my 2 inked without inking the numbers around it. I think we're going to put our number down here. So we got the 2, and now clean that off, cover up all the rest of the numbers. This will be a little bit easier since the 8's the last number on there. Just kind of guessing. I'm looking to the side to kind of see that I've got my 8 kind of lined up with the 2. It lumped in together, but that's okay. And I'm gonna grab a pen and just put my initials underneath so I've signed it. And then these can be used on, you know, decorating various items for your journal. But before we go, I am going to pull off the outer edge of it so we can see kind of where things got cut off. And I count this as rectangular because it's overall a rectangle. And actually each little piece is rectangular in shape. But there are our stamped labels. And when I go to use them, if I find like this one over here looks like it doesn't have a whole heck of a lot on it, I can always add more stamping in then. But this at least gives a good base to start with. And yeah. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.